I really like reading spirals, and I think there are 2 or 3 key points of a spiral that I look for. So the first thing I look for is a significant amount of detail, so that there are examples. I look for answers to the different queries that we have in each section, each of the 4 sections of the spiral, and I like to see that the students have thought about each point, and that it's organized in those 4 categories, and that there's pretty good amount of detail.
I really find it helpful, I think, both for the reader and for the writer when they actually use the headings of concrete experience, abstract conceptualization, etc.
I like that
and
too.
Asking themselves a question and then trying to kind of work through answering that. So often when we're writing, we just put our answers on the page, but it's also really nice to see what the question is, and then to see them working through that, and what readings or what ideas or what experiences that they're using to work through those questions that they have.
I like when I can tell that someone is thinking through the process, and I see that learning and thinking through, rather than having something in our minds already where we know what the outcome is going to be, but that little bit of mystery that kind of comes with it.
Because that's really what the purpose of the tool is to work through a process rather than to already have the result at the front. Yeah.
And on certain occasions, it could be useful then to spiral something twice, to go through, and then if there's still a question remaining, go ahead and run through it again. I think there's one other thing that I look for, and that is a certain level of depth, whether it's kind of a spiritual reflection depth, or a depth of thought, a depth of social analysis. I think is really nice to see.
Again, like, to return to my point about questions, we can ask questions about our questions. So to even interrogate even further your own questioning.
I think if I was maybe to summarize what we've talked about, we can use a little alliteration. Maybe the first could be detail, the second could be depth, be sure that we have depth, and the third, design.
Design, yeah.
Design.